Okay. Oh man, I didn't do the introduction I wanted. Dang it. Oh well. Hey you guys, what is good? I hope you are having a great day today. I actually had a pretty nice day, a chill day. Got some stuff did, got my hair washed. My God. Um, tried this new hair mask by the Cake brand, and I would have to say I give it a 4 out of 5. Only because I don't know how it'll do the rest of this week, but I just got my hair slicked down. Still see the highlights, but yeah, you guys, this isn't gonna be a long message. I know I usually say that, but like for real, this is not gonna be a long message because I have stuff to do. I have stuff to do. I got to get ready for tomorrow. But yeah, you guys, I've been meaning to share this message ever since I saw Spider Man No Way Home. And I have to say, out of all the Spider Man movies I've seen, even from with Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, I still have to see what's his name, Tom Holland, the first two movies. Don't stone me, but I have to say this one was really, it was great, but it was deep, you know, just the lessons, the plot, the just everything that came with it. It was a very powerful movie. And me, I'm the kind of person, I'm always getting life lessons from movies. And sometimes I wish I could just sit still and watch a movie and I'd be like, ooh, here's some content, or ooh, here's something I could share with other people. But unfortunately, my brain doesn't work like that. Unless I just choose not to do anything altogether and just watch the movie and just take it in. But most times I'm gonna like be like, oh, this is what I learned from blah 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 and blah blah blah. So yeah, share and invite, especially with your teenagers, your Marvel movie fan lovers. You know somebody that's really gifted and talented, that person that you say, hey, you got a gift or you're really special, and they need some wisdom and how to groom that, cultivate that, what they're getting themselves into, having a gift and a superpower. You need to share this with them. But yeah, you guys. So I here are a few lessons. I got like 5 so far. Um, at the moment, I got 5 lessons that I learned from Spider-Man No Way Home, and just hear some tips, especially for millennials, Gen Z, but even for Gen X, baby boomers. Anybody for any age. But I wanted to say the younger teens, young adults, because you know they're really like impactful, they're powerful, and they're the future. Like Whitney used to say, the children are the future. And so I really, I do these videos for all ages, but especially for them because sometimes they think people don't understand them, or where's the content for them, or where they fall in place. And millennials feel that way too. So here I am, I'm talking to you guys. So bam, here you go. So, without spoiling too much of the movie, if you haven't seen the movie, you need to go see it. Like, it will bless your life. Depending on the person, you might get emotional from it. It definitely caught me off guard. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh shoot, that's how we're doing it? Dang. But it was still a good movie, nevertheless. Like Pastor John always says, nevertheless. But yeah, here we go, you guys. So, like I said, this is going to be a long video, so we're going to get into it, and so I can get off, eat my canes, and get ready for tomorrow. All right. So, number one, the first lesson I want you guys to know is that some people that were former friends, former allies, connections, associates, acquaintances, all that other good stuff. In one season, they could be a former ally, somebody that you're connected to, someone that you're close to, rock with, in business with, whatever you're doing. But in another season, they can become a potential foe. So, without spoiling too much of the previous movie, Spider Man Far Away from Home, there was this guy, Dr. Mysterio, played by Jake Gyllenhaal. Y'all don't know who that is. He's a pretty cool actor. Like, he's been in the game for like forever. But Jake Gyllenhaal played Dr. Mysterio. And from what I got from that previous movie, Dr. Mysterio seemed like to be a good guy, an ally of Spider-Man. They were working together. But in the beginning of this movie, No Way From Home, apparently something happened, and I don't know what it is. I still gotta watch the movie, but something happened in the end of that previous movie to where Dr. Mysterio, he ended up revealing Spider-Man's real identity as Peter Parker. And I was like, oh my God, that's what we're doing? Like, that's literally, that was my mood for the whole movie. But Dr. Mysterio, he basically exposed him and he lied on him, he framed him. Initially, like I said, from the trailers of the last movie, they seemed to be working together, they seemed to be allies. They had common understanding, they had these superpowers, blah, blah, blah. He was a doctor, Peter was Spider-Man, and they really seemed like they were on the same page. But whatever happened in that last movie, and Dr. Mysterio actually ended up, I guess, being a bad guy. And so that former ally, now a foe, ended up exposing him and revealing his true identity. Because the thing with superheroes, they do not reveal their identity so that they can protect their loved ones, protect themselves, because sometimes, a lot of times, if people discover who you really are and you have superpowers, you have a gift, they're ready to come after everyone you love, everything you love, come where you go to work, go to school at. People are just animals. Like, look at social media. Like, people are annoying. No offense, but like, they're really annoying. But yeah, so that ended up happening. And so now Peter has to go through the whole movie, and Dr. Mysterio accused Peter of doing something that he didn't do, basically creating a false narrative to where Peter looked like the bad guy instead of Dr. Mysterio. And so now with his identity revealed, like, a lot of people are anti Spider-Man. A lot of people call him names, are ready to kill him. People want to fight with him. People want to arrest him, investigate him, all because of a lie. And the thing with having a gift, the thing with having a talent that's going to impact a lot of people, you're going to meet people along the way that one moment y'all are cool, y'all rocking with each other, but then in another season and another time, they end up flipping on you, and they real heart, they real motive, they real agenda ends up getting revealed. And so some tips I took from that, some notes I took from that is that, let's see. So basically, the uncovering and the exposure of Peter's personal life ended up causing the conflict of the movie, even with that. So because of what Dr. Mysterio did in the last movie, that ends up formulating the conflict to this movie. You see, it's funny how when people can start in one phase of your life can end up creating another conflict that you're trying to solve in this phase of your life. I don't know if any of you have dealt with that. If you have, raise your hands, lift your hands up in the comments with the emojis. But literally, like, Peter, his identity was cool and everything. It's kind of like he had the best of both worlds. He had his cake and he could eat it too. And then here come that doggone blasted, trifling, raggedy ratchet Dr. Mysterio with his hating self. Can't use curse words and everything, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. And so, what I really want y'all to know is, if you are a believer or if you're not, you need to become one, point blank, period. But you need to ask the Holy Spirit about a person. And then when he reveals whatever that is to you, you need to believe him. Because I don't even want to call myself a victim. I've been a volunteer of asking the Holy Spirit about a person, and then he tells me, and then I'm like, no, that can't be them. No, trying to give that person the benefit of the doubt, trying to believe the best about them, trying to see their potential and see past the red flags he's showing me, even if they're not overt, but they're covert. And because of that, I got myself in some sticky situations at times, end up getting, lied on, accused, dragged, talked about, ghosted, dropped. People tried to control, manipulate me, steal from me, steal my ideas, lurk, all that other stuff and gaslight me, just the whole shebang. But I signed up for that foolishness because I didn't listen to the Holy Spirit. I didn't listen. And so, if he's saying a person can't be trusted, believe him. And if he says a person can be trusted, then you want to ask him, where do you put that person? Because there's some people in your life, they are not trying to drag you to the pits of hell. They're not trying to snatch your edges off, or paint makeup on your face while you're asleep, all of this crazy stuff. However, you need to know where to put people in your life. Everybody is not meant to be a friend. Some people can be a close associate, a close acquaintance, a bro, a sis, but the friend category, like that's a narrow place, okay? And you really gotta vet people. You really gotta get to know people before you want to label and call them your friend. It's one thing to have an associate, an acquaintance, an alliance, but it's another thing to really have a friend. And friends are far and few between. Let me say that. Friends are far few in between. And if you have them, like, love them, love them, honor them, cherish them, respect them, just appreciate them, because friends, like real friends, are few far in between. And so this goes on to my next point. Number two, people called to do life with you will cover you after an enemy tries to expose your character. So now, like I said, without spoiling the movie, now we get into Peter, his loved ones, MJ, Ned, Aunt May, and what's that dude's name? Happy Hogan. Happy. Sorry, that's such a funny name to be like. He doesn't. I think that's his nickname, but like that's a funny name, Happy Hogan. I'm sorry, but you have the four of them, and they do everything they can to protect Peter because, like I said, now everybody is coming after him. You have the paparazzi, news helicopters. People doing stories about him on the news that aren't true, and then you even have the feds coming after him, and he gets arrested. And so they end up calling Peter in for questioning. And I think they end up calling NJ, May, and Happy. I think that's how that went. And so they end up getting called in for questioning, and they don't tell on Peter. Not just don't tell on him, but they defend him. They stick up for him. They were willing to get legal assistance because they stood by him, because they knew Peter's character. And for all my gifted people, for all my people who want to change the world with your superpower, you need people in your corner that, no matter what lie, no matter what false narrative comes out about you, because they will come out. Like, I want you to know there will be people whose life's mission is to ruin and destroy your character any chance they can. Like they are on a bloodhound, they're on a witch hunt. They want to destroy your character. They want to find lies about you, or even use one little bitty thing about you and blow it into a crazy story. So I want you to know that, like, if you're gonna do something great, if you're gonna change the world, you're gonna have people making blogs about you, making stories and videos and doing lies about you. Like, get ready. Get ready for it. And I'm talking to myself too. Get ready for it. But you need those people around you that know the real you, and they don't care about the lies, the false narrative, the news, the fake news. They don't care about any of that because they know you. And MJ, Ned, Aunt May, Happy, they knew Peter well enough and they trusted him well enough. They were willing to go down with him because they were there. They saw the work he did being Spider-Man. They saw all the people he helped. They know him in real life. Okay, Aunt May knows him as his nephew, as her nephew. MJ as knowing him as her boyfriend and her friend. Ned, okay, Ned is his best friend. Like they know the real Peter. Happy knew him because Iron Man, rest in peace, Iron Man. Iron Man used to mentor Spider Man, and so Happy knew Spider Man because of that. And so they developed a relationship. They developed relationships with him, so they got to learn his character. And so people that are called to do life with you, like they are gonna stick with you through that, through the accusations, through the allegations, and they're strong enough, they're resilient enough to be able to withstand all of that. Because sometimes some people can't handle all the heat and all the hate that comes with the crowd. But if you can find some people, find a few people that can rock it out with you, like literally hold on to them and keep the lines of communication open with them. That's another thing, you know, just the sidebar, just the extra bonus. Make sure you keep the lines of communication open with the people that are really down for you, because the lies and the confusion, they start to come in when communication isn't happening. And for all my gifted people, I know you want to shut down, isolate yourself, hide away when people coming for you, you know, dragging your character. It's tempting to just want to hide away and not talk to anybody. I understand. But you got to communicate with the people that know the real you, that love the real you. You got to talk to them. I don't know how you're going to contact them. Email them, FaceTime them, inbox them, drop by their house, whatever you got to do, get in contact with them, okay? And so, kind of like what I said earlier, MJ, Ned, Happy, Aunt May, supported, stood by Peter, and protected him when people didn't even know the real him. You see, MJ, the GOAT, didn't break up with him, even with her and Ned. They didn't get into they got denied a certain opportunity. I'll just say that without spoiling the movie because it was a cool movie. They got all three of them got denied a certain opportunity because of what happened, but they didn't drop Peter. They didn't act like, oh, I'm not connected to Spider-Man. Who is that? I don't know Peter Parker. I'm not with him. Like how Peter denied Jesus 3 times. They didn't do Peter like that. And see, Aunt May was willing to do anything that she could to help Peter. She, you know, went in for questioning. Like I said, she was willing to get legal help because she went back to turn her nephew in because she knew him. She knew he was a hero and not a villain. And then there you have Happy Hogan. Happy was willing to let Peter use his place or one of his safe houses, whatever it is. And then let me tie it back to, you know, Aunt May real quick. The other things that happen in the movie and the other conflict and problem that Peter gets himself into, because Peter was kind of impulsive, you know, I'm not gonna lie. But Aunt May was there to help Peter. Um, what's the word I want to use? Keep the promises that he made and, you know, protect and save the people that needed his help. Aunt May was right there by his side, willing to help him again. Like we bless God for Aunt May. And so number 3, the next tip I want to say and let you guys know is that there are repercussions and there are consequences for every decision that you make. I want to repeat that again. There are repercussions. I don't even know if that's a Spanish word. There are repercussions and there are consequences for every decision, every choice that you're going to make. And whether good, whether bad, for every action, there's going to be a reaction. I think, what's his name? Sir Isaac Newton, he said, for every action, there's going to be a reaction. And so in this movie, the choices that Peter made, let's just say a lot of problems arise, whatever. A lot of problems happened because of the choices Peter made. And he thought he could just formulate this plan to get people not to remember him. But he didn't realize because he went to Doctor Strange, the guy with the time stone in the previous Marvel movies, um, and with the stuff in his hand and all the circles and stuff and all the zoom, 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 zoom. He thought Doctor Strange could help him erase people's memories. But when Peter was asking for that, he didn't realize that would include MJ, Ned, Aunt May, Happy. And so when Doctor Strange was trying to help him and Peter kept adding all these demands to his wish or whatever, and Doctor Strange was like, bruh, stop. You don't understand. Everything that you're asking is gonna mess with the very fabric of space and time and the different dimensions and all of that. And Peter was just like, ah. Basically, Peter tried to have his cake and eat it too, but in this instance, it wasn't gonna work. And so Doctor Strange, he shut it down. He was like, hey, I can't help you. Peter then goes to take a tool, take something that belonged to Doctor Strange, and they end up now in this beef in the movie because of what Peter did. Peter trying to, have his loved ones remember him without the rest of the world remembering him. And so him doing this ended up causing a lot of strange happenings in that movie, and some characters from the other Spider-Man movies, the other two with like the original with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, all those foes ended up coming to Peter, Tom Holland's dimension. And so now we have that going on. And that's the consequence because these are all villains. Villains that, died at the hands of the other Spider-Mans. And so now Peter has to try to contain them and stop them from wreaking havoc. Like he had Doc Ock, you had the Green Goblin, you had Jamie Foxx's Electro, you had this giant dusty guy. I think his name was Flint. There you had that freaky reptile looking used to be human dude. You had all those other villains from the last Spider-Man movies years ago. Now they're in this movie because of what Peter did. And so now he's trying to stop all of them from wreaking havoc. But then Peter thinks he can save them instead of them having to face their original fate of them dying in the other Spider-Man movies. Peter wants to try and save them. But he doesn't understand that him trying to do this is also going to cause some consequences that not only affect him, but they affect his loved ones. And so, in doing this, like the Bible says, you want to count up the cost before you look to build something. You want to count up the cost. It's in the New Testament. Jesus said it. Go Google it. I'm paraphrasing. But basically saying, like, you got to basically weigh out the pros and cons before you do something, because the more you grow in influence with your gift and your talent, you're going to affect more lives. The decisions that you make affect more people than just you. Even if you're not married yet, or even if you don't have kids yet, but you still have family members, you have loved ones, you have friends. And even if you think, well, I don't have anybody, but there's somebody that even you haven't met or that's around you that you're going to meet, there's somebody that their life is impacted based on the choices and decisions that you make. So let's be mindful of that. Let's be mindful. I'm not saying it to try to scare you, to put false pressure on you, because that's a real thing too. And I don't like all that. People want to tell you everything you do is gonna make people da 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 and da 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 da. I'm just like, okay, lower your voice, watch your tone. Like, I don't need to have an anxiety attack for you to tell me that other people are connected to me. But that is a real thing. So, what is the next tip right here? Okay, and so this goes into tip number 4, numero cuatro. I know my Spanish isn't the best. I haven't taken Spanish since 8th grade, and when I tried to take it during COVID, I didn't finish with the class, so I got to take Spanish again. But number 4, once you've reached a certain level, there's no going back to what's familiar. Okay. So I don't know if I'm going to paint a picture for you guys or if I just want to get straight into it. But a lot of times we want to have all these gifts, all these talents, these superpowers. And the more people that we help, the more people that we bless, all these great things happen. And we think and we want the influence, we want the exposure, we want people to see us. And we really start thinking that we can do all of this and we can just go back to how things used to be. We can go back with the same mindset, the same attitude, the same appetite, even, what type of food you eat. We can go back to the same types of places you go. We think we can keep, ooh, excuse me, y'all, water catching up to me. We think we can do the same things and expect to maintain what we're doing, the success we've garnered, the influence we've garnered. But what you don't realize, the higher you go, the more you excel, there's gonna be some kind of there's gonna be something where you have to like change. There's gonna be some change, and it starts with you first. You can't have the same kind of attitude. Like if you're not integral, if you lie, you cheat, you got a bad attitude, you can't continue certain behaviors as you reach new levels and new heights because your gift can get you there, but then your attitude and your character can get you knocked out. Not like knocked out. Well, unless you're around people that are like physically violent and they just feel froggy, and you got those knuck if you buck type people and they're just ready to like pull. Now that's one thing. But when I mean knocked out, it could knock you out of the place that you were aspiring to get to, the influence, the platform, blah, blah, blah. You could end up losing that. Like you see so many people on social media, especially TikTok and Instagram. What the fudge cakes is going on TikTok? Like I saw this video about this civil rights activist. I guess he's not black, but he was coming against racism and all of that. And come to find out, he was messing with this Caucasian lady, and apparently they didn't use a condom. And now she making TikTok saying that he, took advantage of her because he didn't use a condom, and da 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 da, and that she could be pregnant with his child. She crying all on TikTok. He apologizing, and I'm looking at this foolishness like, what in the Sam Hill? Like, people think everybody that can just turn on live, get on and do this, and not have a change of character, not grow and mature at some point. They think they can just keep having the same trash behavior and not evolve. They think they could just keep having terrible health. They think they could just keep carrying unforgiveness, lying, pride. They think they can secretly be hating on people. They think that stuff, and they could just keep doing stuff. But at some point, the spotlight gonna shine on you. And let me tell you something about light. Light show everything, okay? Light get rid of the darkness. And so all these people getting exposed and everything for foolishness because they didn't want to grow, they didn't want to change with their character. The higher up they kept going, the new levels they were going to, they didn't want to change. And that's a scary thing. Like, we have so many gifted people in this generation, but they don't want to change their character. They just, y'all, some of y'all suck. I'm sorry. Like, some of y'all have terrible behavior, poor manners. Like, y'all are terrible. I'm sorry. Like, some of y'all are just, ugh. Hey, Brooke. Okay, and this is not me calling you. It's your behavior, but I just got a little into it. But yeah, some of y'all behavior sucks. Okay. And if you keep going along with it, and if you don't switch that up, get some therapy, get a whole lot of Jesus, like, baby, baby, that platform that you got, that influence that you got, it's gonna be you got up there quick, but you're gonna have a quick fall too. Like this is a low key. Like this is low key. Like yes, God is doing things quickly. I'm gonna just shift here real quick. God is doing a lot of things quickly for people, for His people. But my thing is, if you don't get your character together, if you don't allow God to heal you, reveal you in these private moments, in these times of obscurity where no one can see you, when you get to these places and the light shines on you, man, those people, the real bad boys and bad girls, the sharks in that place, they will be able to sniff you out and tell you, like, who do you think you are coming up in here telling me what I need to do and change, and you dealing with da 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 da. Like those demons, those real big and bad demons, gonna be able to spot out your jealousy, spot out your revenge, your anger, your unforgiveness, your pettiness. They gonna be able to spot that. Now, yes, we all are work in progression, yes, but if you're not willing to let God change you. If you're not on this path of progression, you just want to let God use you. Da-da-da-da-da, keep on doing all this, but you don't want to stop and change for a moment. Like, baby, baby, them demons gonna expose you. Like, and I'm talking to myself. So don't act like I ain't talking to you. I'm just talking to y'all and not me. No, I am very much talking to myself. Like, okay, but yeah, but yeah, and so within this movie, Peter kind of grew and matured a little bit, but it wasn't until he went through the movie and he saw what was required of him. He saw the responsibilities that he had and that were coming because of his newfound exposure, even though he didn't want it. For some of y'all who don't want the exposure, but some of y'all, God is going to do it anyway. And so this is why he wants y'all to do the preparation now, and God will help you in the background. He'll help you in the front too, but he'll help you behind the scenes. But Peter had to learn certain things as he went, and it was very uncomfortable for him, and it was low-key uncomfortable for me to watch. I was like, God, dog. As I was sitting there drinking my mango icy and my free popcorn for my birthday, I was like, dang. But yeah, you guys, and I'm not even looking at my notes. I'm just talking, man. Sometimes I be feeling like, dang, why do I be writing all these notes and I'm not even looking at it? Why? That's okay though, it's good to have it. It's always good to have it. I'll never know what I need it for. So what's a waste of my time? That's okay. That's okay. All right. And gosh, I don't even know where I want to go here from it. Oh, yeah. I also want to tell y'all this. Okay. So as Peter was revealed to be Spider-Man, there are, like I said, people that hated him, but then there are people that wanted to be his friend just because he was Spider-Man, not because of who he was. And he had this guy that used to be his best friend, quote unquote, and he ditched Peter. I don't know for what, but then he was trying to get in with Peter's good graces, trying to clout chase, just trying to be all up on his stuff without being too graphic. Like he was trying to be all up in his Kool-Aid, all up in his grill, and that was like, you know, he really tried to act like he was Peter's best friend, telling reporters and telling people, "Oh, that's my best friend," blah blah blah. Like the higher you go, the more influence that you get. You're gonna have people from the past that used to know you, they knew you, and they dropped you, they cut you off, they ghosted you, or sometimes y'all just grew apart or whatever. But most times, these are the people that dropped you, ghosted you, betrayed you. You weren't cool enough enough for them, or they had no more use of you and so they just threw you to the wayside. These are the people that want to come back up and be like, oh yeah, I know such and such. Oh yeah, I know Salithia. Oh yeah, I know Brooke. I know Sarah. I know da 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 da. That's my best friend. Blah blah blah. They haven't talked to you in like what, 2 to 3 years, 5 years, 11 years. They haven't talked to you in all this time, and they wanted to call you they best friend and blah blah blah. That's my best friend. No, I'm not your best friend, okay? I'm not even your acquaintance, all right? I'm not even in your phone, okay? No, no, no. You can't call me your best friend. No, 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 sorry, no. Y'all, forgive me for all these voices, okay? Accepting that side of me. I like to do voices. Y'all gotta forgive me. But y'all be prepared for that too. Um, be prepared to be a role model, even if you don't want to be. I know we got some celebrities that are just like, hey, I'm not a role model. Don't look at me as one. Well, sorry. Sorry, you're a role model, whether you're a good one or whether you're a trashy one. You're a role model regardless because you have thousands and hundreds of millions of people looking at you for whatever, whether it's for relief, for entertainment, advice, to keep their minds off of craziness, whatever. You're a role model. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But that's okay though. There is grace for the role model. Okay. Jesus gives grace for the role models too. Okay. All right. He understands what it's like having a great responsibility and it feels overwhelming. He understands what that's like. But no, like people gonna look at you, so you just can't do and say anything. You can't pop off, clap back at the trolls the way you want to or the way you used to. You gotta respond differently. Or sometimes don't even respond at all. Sometimes, mute people, block people. Sometimes don't even get on social media and ingest that toxicity. But you as a role model, you gotta respond differently. And more is expected out of you. More is gonna be expected out of you. Like the more followers or the more people that catch you, even if you go viral, like there's more people that's gonna be watching you. Sorry, y'all. And where I want to go from? Oh, I want to say this too. Before I get to number 5, realize that there are people that are happy that you're changing and evolving, and they're gonna keep walking with you and supporting you. Then there are going to be people who love you, but they don't understand this kind of change. So they might say things that might not line up with where you're at. And y'all might find yourselves at differences or at an impasse. That doesn't mean you necessarily cut those people off 100%. You just change your conversation, limit the conversation. You just reposition people. That's okay. Everybody ain't got to be cut off. And then there are some people that get totally pissed off, at the fact that okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that word, but some people that get totally just ticked off the fact that you're changing, you're not the same person, and some people get offended because some people liked when you were a certain way. Some people might have liked it when no one knew you, when they had you to themselves. Some people liked it when you were broken, dysfunctional, like toxic, confused, like that. Some people like that. And then we're not that anymore. When you get some exposure, it's just it kind of makes it feel like, okay, well, where does that leave me? Like where's my place in life? And so sometimes they feel like they don't have a role to play anymore. Because they found meaning from being whatever it is to you, whether good or bad. And so just be mindful of that, as that elevation comes. You really got to get wisdom in where people belong, how people are acting, how you should respond. Because everything, like I said, everything doesn't need a clap back. There are some things that need to be addressed, but everything doesn't always need to be addressed because if you go on and address everything, you're wasting time and energy. And that's like another bonus. Pick your battles. Pick your battles. The more exposure that you get, the more opportunities for people to pop off will be present. And so you got to pick your battles. You got to, Ask yourself, you got to ask Holy Spirit, do I respond to that? If he say no, don't put that, don't post that, don't respond to that. If he's saying no, don't do it. Because there's a thing called screenshots. There's a thing called screen recording. There's a thing called audio recording. And people are getting drugged through the mud because of these tools. I mean, they're great, but they have been the downfall of some of the greatest of them all. So watch what you post, because you might post something and then 5 years, 2 years, 1 week later, it get out, and then cancel culture wants to come in and just come in on you and like devour you. So please, whatever you do, watch how you respond and pick your battles. Okay, every battle ain't meant for you to fight. That takes energy and time away from what you can be doing. Okay. Hey Taya, hi. I told you I'd get out here. Told you. I'm about to wrap this video up, and you can go catch the replay. But I'm so glad that you came on here for the fifth and final tip. Okay. Have I read everything from number 4? Oh, okay. And I want to say this. I know I said this before, but for real. One more thing. Enjoy the moments where nobody knows you. Enjoy this. And I'm even going to say this to myself. Salithia, enjoy the moments where nobody really knows you. Enjoy those moments, because once people know you, there's just like this demand on you in public. People expect you to take pictures with them, sign autographs. People expect you to be this way, and you're not really in the mood right now. People expect you to be 100 all the time, and sometimes you're not. And sometimes people get offended, over little bitty stuff, and you're not even trying to be rude. So even if you just want to go to the park, even if you want to go to the mall, even if you want to go to the doggone drive through at Chick-fil-A and Cane's, like, honey, and just the quality time that you have for you, things gonna change up a little bit. You're not gonna get that same your privacy is gonna get affected. And especially depending on the platform, the amount of influence you're going to have, your privacy might get affected. And so you got to make sure you have proper parameters, proper boundaries, whether that includes publicists, bodyguards, all that other stuff. You need to have some kind of plan, some kind of something, because people, especially of today, get hecka entitled to your space. Oh, excuse me. And they think that, anything that they ask, that you're just supposed to do it and jump through hoops because you entertain them. And sometimes you just have to like tell people, no, I'm not your monkey. Okay. No. I'm not your little circus monkey. All right. I'm not Curious George. I'm not doing tricks for you. Okay. No. So that's one final thing I wanted to add. So now we're going to number 5. Still feel like this video was kind of long, but it hasn't hit an hour yet. So I'm happy about that. We're doing good, y'all. We're doing good. So number 5, great gifts require great responsibility. So you're going to hear this quote. It's not the exact, I didn't write it exactly the same way, but I paraphrased it. But you're going to hear something like that in the movie about how great gifts, great talents, superpowers, they require great responsibility. Because having a gift or a superpower is great to have, but know that more will be expected of you. Know that you'll be prepared. You must be prepared for the good and the ugly times that come with being gifted. Because I don't know where we got this narrative from of just because I have a gift, I have a superpower, that just means that everything in life comes easy to you. I don't know where the fudge cakes we got that, but whoever, been pushing that fake news, they're a lying wonder, and the truth is not in them. Okay. They lied. They flat out lied. Like, if anything, if anything, there's more opportunities for obstacles for you to overcome. that'll help shape your character. They hurt like hell. They ain't fun. Okay, it sucks some days. Some days absolutely suck. All right, I can be straight up honest with you. Some days absolutely are just trash, and you're just like, God, can I just get a redo? Can we just end today? Like, I just want to go home, get up in my bed, and just wake up and start tomorrow. And sometimes it doesn't even end tomorrow. How many of y'all have dealt with that or dealing with that? Huh? I'm sorry. I got a little emotional on that one. Got a little emotional. You know, that kind of hit home. But yeah, having a gift doesn't, change the fact that, life is life. Okay. You're going to have your good days and you're going to have your ugly days, And then you're going to have the days where it's just kind of like mellowed out. It's just kind of like even playing field. It's kind of just like, bleh, meh. You're going to have those days. What's another thing I wanted to read? Oh, also understand that people will look to you as a source for answers. Know that your words matter to other people and that you can't use your words to harm others or be impulsive with your words. Kind of like I said earlier, back in number 4, you know, your words are going to mean a lot to people that you know, people that you don't know. Your words are going to matter so much to them. And even some of these people are emotionally immature. They're not emotionally intelligent. And so they just say things just off the fly and they don't realize some people have horrible boundary skills. They lack boundaries or understanding of them. But you got to understand how you respond to them is everything. Because even though they may just be saying all this stuff and they may be expecting all this out of you, there is a way to respond to them without destroying them. Like, because some of the people I see dragging people for saying something. You're dragging somebody with what, 20 followers, and you have like 200 followers, 200,000 followers, 2 million followers, and you're dragging someone with 20 followers just because they might have said something that rubbed you the wrong way. I'm not saying there's not a time to respond, but be mindful of how you respond because you don't know that person can end up leaving that live, leaving that concert, leaving that interview, whatever, and it really wounds them. And people really take like social media celebrities, people idolize folks, and it's gotten pretty doggone dangerous. Like, and I'm not saying it's just because of the shows I watch too, like NCIS, Los Angeles, SWAT. But seriously, some people really take it to heart when their favorite influencer blocks them or is mean to them or rude to them on social media and they don't handle it well. And so you don't want that on your conscience. I know I don't. Like, there's a way to respond to people, but then there's just being mean and we don't want to do that, There's still people. The Lord loves them, okay? We don't want to do that. And so also know that you're going to need a team that knows your character, trusts your leadership, holds you accountable, has their own individual identities because those people can help you carry the load. Also, like I said, in having that team, having those people that know you, the thing about it is just like Ned, Happy, Aunt May, MJ, because they knew Peter so well, they were able to help him throughout the movie and things that Peter wasn't able to do, certain problems he couldn't solve or fix. MJ, Ned, Aunt May, Happy, they were able to help him. And it took a lot of weight and burdens off of him so Peter could focus on doing what he needed to do to help solve the problem he caused and started up. And so what else I want to say with this? Yeah. I said that earlier. Oh, and like I said earlier, be accountable. Know that leading others is work. Solving saving lives isn't for the faint of heart, and you become responsible for things no matter what they turn out like. No matter how they turn out, you're responsible. So, and okay, I'll save this for next time. So yeah, you guys, these are the 5 lessons that I got from Spider-Man. And you want to go back and listen to the replay, take some of the notes and some of the nuggets. If you want to ignore my entertaining animated side, that's totally fine. But I really hope you take the nuggets from this message. I really hope that it blesses you, and it just prepares you for what comes with having this superpower, this great gift, and you want to change the world with it. I hope you realize what you're getting yourself into, and that you have people to help you, and that you have a relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ in the middle of it. All right, you guys, I love you guys, and I am signing off. And yeah, like I said, I'm for real about that Jesus thing. If you don't know Jesus Christ, like, you really want to get to know him, like, he's not just a good idea. Like, he is the way, the truth, and the life. No. Um. So yeah, you guys. So I love you guys, and I will see you guys next time. And share this with all your other gifted, special individuals, or keep it to yourself. Well, no, don't keep it to yourself. Anyway, share with the rest of the people. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.